Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me once again today. As always, I'm GeneralConfusion, and this is Total War Warhammer 2. This is just the, I can never say these words correctly. This is ShadowOnlineGaming's Winter Tournament, Game 3 of the group round. And I am playing against Loremaster of Sotek, who is, let me just start by saying this, a way better player than I am. I'm playing Skaven versus his Beastmen, and a lot of people I know are kind of down on the Skaven. I just picked them because I like them and because I'm very experienced with them. But that said, in this game I was kind of, I don't know, I was kind of second-guessing myself a little bit. So right now I'm 1-1 in the series. This is game 3. Hoping to push on, but we'll see how I do. I've picked a slightly more meta army than I normally do. That includes some units that I don't really use all that often. I picked Skrulk. A lot of people will say Skrulk is the most competitive Lord choice for the Skaven, and in some ways he is, but I don't know. On the other hand, he's very expensive and he's quite squishy. 30 armor, 3500 HP, okay but not fantastic melee stats. He's got this going for him. The Rod of Corruption and the Liber Bubonicus are super powerful items. If somebody comes in to try and snipe Skrulk, he can do a massive amount of damage to them very, very quickly. And he brings the Lore of Plague, so you don't need a separate spellcaster. So I've taken the Aura of Pestilence. He's got Bless with Filth, Wither, and both summons, Vermintide and Pestilent Birth. I've also given him Stand Your Ground, because I intend for him to be in the middle of the line. I've got a front line of Clan Rats. So Clan Rats with Shields, Clan Rats with Shields, Clan Rats with Shields, etc. all the way across, 4 of those guys. I've got 3 Plague Monks in the secondary line, because I'm going against Beastmen, and I'm thinking, you know what, Plague Monks will actually do pretty well against most Beastmen infantry, not Bestigors. But against Bestigors, I can drop an upgraded Wither to cut down their armor, and then Plague Monks will do pretty well against them. Plus, I have no armor here for the Bestigors to sunder, or to cut through, rather. I have 4 Slingers in the back, 2 Night Runners with Slings, and 2 Skaven Slave Slingers. I brought 1 Warp Lightning Cannon, love them. Clan Rat Spear with Shields to guard it, 2 Rat Ogres in the back for counter-charging. Over here, I've actually hidden a Clan Rat Spear with Shields in the woods. And that's because I was thinking, against the Beastmen with all their Centaurs, might have a Vanguard right here. So I want something that can just block that up and see it coming if it does indeed happen. I was figuring there might be one over here as well, but I don't have anything over here, so I'll see it coming across the open field before I have to really react. So that's my army. My opponent, Loremaster of Sotek, has brought a couple of Harpies, so 1 Harpy over that side, 1 Harpy over this side. He has also brought a very powerful Beastman infantry army. So he's got Ungor Raiders, 1 unit of them just for you know, arrow work. He's got the Koroks Man Rippers and Blackhorns Ravagers, the 2 infantry RORs, and these guys are, both of these units are very, very good. Blackhorns Ravagers just have high melee stats in general, plus stock, and Koroks Man Rippers have very high melee stats, plus they have armor piercing and anti-large, so they're fantastic units. Oh, I almost forgot, talking about my own army. I brought a Hell Pit Abomination. Now, normally I don't do this. I don't really like Hell Pits, but I thought, you know what? It's a big target. It might attract attention, has a lot of HP, can survive a lot of pounding, and if the enemy has brought Minotaurs or something and I can tempt them into an engagement where the Warp Lightning Cannon can get a hold of them, I might be able to take them down really quickly. Also, I've been doing some testing, and Slingers do a really good job against Minotaurs. So I was thinking I can use the Hell Pit Abomination to kind of suck them in and do some damage. Anyway, he's got his 2 infantry RORs, he's got Ungor Spearman Herd, a regular Gore Herd with shields, chevroned up quite a bit, and the Destroyers of the Drakwold with poison damage. Back here, he's got 1 Centaur with great weapons. He has a Bray Shaman of Death on a Chariot, who has the Jagged Dagger, Doom and Darkness, and Spirit Leech, so fairly cheap, fairly efficient. He's got Morgur the Shadowgave, the Beastman Lord who spawns Chaos Spawn. So he has the Stave of Ruinous Corruption, which just spawns Chaos Spawn. And then he also has the Spirit Essence of Chaos, which kills automatically kills a nearby badly damaged enemy unit and spawns more Chaos Spawn on top of them. And then he also regenerates, of course, and is immune to psychology. And then he's got 1 unit of Minotaurs with great weapons for anti-large work, as well as the Eye of Morsleave, the ROR Cygor. So this guy is pretty scary. He has a net effect, and he has plus 25% miscast chance, plus he's an accurate and powerful piece of artillery. So, can't see his army just yet, because I'm back at the base of the hill. but I can't see his harpies. I can see those harpies over there. So we're starting off a little bit of Warp Lightning fire on Korok's Man Rippers just as they come over the hill. Decent hit. We've got the boulder coming in, so I know we have the Eye of Morsleep to contend with. But I see the harpies coming in on this side. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't see any Centaurs back here. We're going to kind of pull up. We're going to send over some Slingers to try and deal with those harpies. Slingers are not fantastic at dealing with unnetted air units, but they're kind of the best I got. Might honestly have wanted to bring just regular Night Runners, but hindsight's 20/20. Good hits on Korok's Man Rippers, doing a lot of damage, but the Eye of Morsleep gives it right back to us. 15 kills with one hit. That hurts. That hurts a lot. The harpies are swinging in, and I'm thinking, okay, so they're coming in for the Warp Lightning Cannon. We'll hit them with stuff as they come in. It'll be fine. Eye of Morsleep, still throwing them rocks in, getting some damage done. The Slingers actually start getting some pretty decent damage on the harpies, and the harpies instantly swing in towards their target, which is, of course, the Warp Lightning Cannon. So I see them coming. I'm thinking, I've got the spears right here. I've got the Slingers coming in. It'll be fine. No. I'm being let down by my recent experience with the Vampire Coast, and I haven't quite remembered that harpies have a ton of weapon strength, 44. They're going to rip this cannon a new one. In the front line, let's slow things down. The front line engagement is happening. Minotaurs with great weapons and Morgur are both coming in for Skrolk, but Skrolk pops both of his items. He's got the Plague Monk supporting him, and he also has the Slingers here throwing into the Minotaurs. And Minotaurs, as I said, actually take a lot of damage from Slingers. So Morgur the Shadowgave is taking a lot of damage from the items, and the Minotaurs are taking a lot of damage from the Slingers. Those Minotaurs with great weapons are going down quick. I have not, however, managed to get my support over to the Warp Lightning Cannon. So we've got the spears coming in now, but still, those harpies are doing some damage, and another unit of harpies is now coming in, while my spears have for some reason stopped moving. So, summoning up some more Plague Monks, Morgur has pulled into the rest of my army. He's behind enemy lines right now. He's dropping Call of Violence, but there's nobody but him there. And the Minotaurs have routed. They are out of here. So I see Morgur isolated, and I think, oh yeah, oh, I'm going to get him. Oh, I'm going to get him so bad. Unfortunately, right now, my clan rats rout, and Morgur starts escaping. I bring up another summon in an effort to stop him while these Plague Monks are attacking the Ungor Raiders. But in the back, my Warp Lightning Cannon has shattered. It's gone. The charge of that second unit of harpies hit it smack in the rear, and it just wiped it off the face of the earth. I didn't even notice them leaving until about now when I looked back and went, oh shit, they're gone. Chaos Spawn are appearing in my ranks, and unfortunately, they're trapping all of my Slingers. All my Slingers are now engaged with these Chaos Spawn. And so, unfortunately, Lord Skrolk is herring off alone just as the Minotaurs come back and all the counters have been removed. I see that this is a problem, but Lord Skrolk is just going in. He's hit with a Spirit Leech, and the Centaurs start to swing in as my Plague Monks pull out. This is why I say the Centaurs incidentally had charged over here, met my Rat Ogres, and more or less bounced. The Rat Ogres did fine against them, but this is why I say that Loremaster of Sotek is a much better player than me. He saw this situation and knew that I was dead, and I hadn't even quite realized until just now. I see the Centaurs coming in, I see the Minotaurs, and I go, oh shit. And yep, Chariot, Centaurs, Minotaurs are charging in, but then they're going to bounce out and come in here. I've got another summon coming out, but it's not going to save Skrolk. Skrolk is in the wrong neighborhood. It is a real problem. Skrolk flees, but unfortunately he flees in the wrong direction. So Skrolk is now running behind enemy lines. We've got these Plague Monks fighting in the pits, trying to stop up the enemy, and they do successfully gum them up. Enough for Skrolk to get away, and I bring the Rat Ogres in a desperate bid to save him, but Skrolk is now running through the open field, directly behind the enemy, and with very, very low health. Meanwhile, in the back lines, all is chaos. My Hell Pit Abomination, while I was busy with Skrolk, charged into these halberds, got the shit kicked out of it, and ran. My Warp Lightning Cannon is offline. These guys have all been compromised by the Chaos Spawn, who is nearly dead. And Skrolk is hit with another Spirit Leech and killed by the Brave Shaman of Death, at which point my whole army begins to rout. I'm desperately trying to rally units and bring them back. I only now remember these Clan Rat Spears with shields. Look, I was having an off night. Like, what do you want? It was a bad game. That's all I can say. Chaos Spawn finally degenerate, but too late. My whole army breaks, and that is the end of the game. So, a well-deserved victory to Loremaster of Sotek. He outplayed me at every turn. And he outpicked me, to be honest. My army was not terribly well suited for dealing with what I should have anticipated the Beastmen would bring. Now, overall, I think the front line was fine. What I should have done is I should have cut this Hellpit Abomination, which I still don't like Hellpit Abominations. I know some players have a lot of good luck with them. I just don't think they're very useful. At least not for my playstyle, let's say. So what I should have done is cut the Hellpit Abomination, brought a second Warp Lightning Cannon, and sat way back on the defensive. Upgraded both of those Skaven Slave Slingers to Night Runner Slingers, so I had 4 Night Runners, 2 Rat Ogres, 2 Warp Lightning Cannons, 2 Clan Rat Spears, and then my front line. And I should have cut Skrolk. I should have cut Skrolk and brought another Lord, like possibly Queek, because Queek could absolutely trash can Morgr the Shadowgave, like no question. And then like a Warlock Engineer with Warp Lightning. Or possibly maybe a Plague Priest trimmed down just so he could summon rats, but more likely a Warlock Engineer with the armor and Warp Lightning. And, importantly, Howling Warp Gale. So with Howling Warp Gale and 2 Warp Lightning Cannons, I could have kept one of those cannons online at least, because I could have hit one of these Harpies with Howling Warp Gale and pummeled them with 4 Slingers. That would enable me to still have Warp Lightning Cannon support against the Minotaurs, and against the Chaos Spawn that Morgr would summon, and possibly even for shooting down the Bray Shaman of Death, because him trolling around on his chariot was a problem. That Spirit Leech, bad juju. But just generally, I should have taken a very different build. I should not have taken the Hell Pit. Honestly, I shouldn't have taken Skrolk. Not that he's not powerful and effective in the right hands, but I'm not terribly experienced with him, and I don't like him very much, so I shouldn't be bringing him in a tournament until I fixed that. I should have used one of my more comfortable strategies, shall we say. Even a Bell. Like, I could have brought a Screaming Bell. Yes, it's very vulnerable to the Minotaurs with great weapons, but Minotaurs with great weapons are very vulnerable to Slingers. So I could have been riding back and forth behind the line, dropping damage spells on his infantry to make sure that this doesn't happen, that his infantry don't get 152 kills and rout off my units, just daring him to charge through and try and kill me. And if he charged through to try and kill me, he would have been met with a ton of Slingstones, and those Minotaurs would have died very quickly. But in any case, hindsight is 2020. Loremaster of Sotek definitely played a good game. And with that, I'm 1-2, so probably not advancing at this point, but we'll see. We're still not in dire straits. Can still definitely pull it back. There's 2 games to go, and if I win them both, then I'll still be in a decent, solid position. So, in any case, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in Game 4.